just take a look at the current government paradigm. So these are the kind of growing trend from the left to the right. When we start from traditional public administration to new, then this is really new public governance. That means not only you manage, but you allow the public to be part of the decision process. So let's look at some examples. So traditionally, what's the emphasis? The government want to decide the law and standard. Okay, then the management, if the new management is that not only you want to create a law and a standard, you also want to be efficient in your operation, and you want to look at what the private sector are doing and learn from that and bring that to the government. And then even the newer one is public governance. That, what does that mean? That means you want to bring the citizen into a very participatory collective action to solve problems. So you open a website, you have a poll, you let people generate new idea. So to kind of open the process to be very transparent, to be very open, so the governance could be involved in the citizen. Okay, let's take a look at the role of the citizen, right? So every citizen, of course, is part of the government service targets. So in the old days, the citizen are more of a passive user. So the government creates something and you just kind of use it. Then the newer one is that the customer will choose which government innovation to use. Then the newer one is that the citizen is part of the innovation process. Okay? So a lot of government want to push that. So innovation in government is not only created, implemented, tested by the government agency itself. Now the whole process, from the ideation, from the beginning of the process to the evaluation, to implementation, to the final systemized practice, they all want citizen to be involved. The danger of that, my observation is that citizens sometimes don't spend enough time on the detail of the policy or innovation. So if you let the policy completely dictated by just the vote or just the people's opinion, then you might not have the best policy or long-term good enough decision for the long term. So open innovation is a great idea to do the generation, to the idea and to the evaluation, but actually in the middle, the careful analysis and careful implementation, I think from my opinion is that you need to be careful, not just follow the whim of the public, but to do a long-term analysis and by the manager and legislator that are have expertise and long-term commitment to the process. So do not just listen, just every day depends on the poll, and you probably don't want to do that. Okay. Let's take a look. So if you have a successful public sector innovation, these are the expected or hopeful output. Okay, so of course you want citizen to have better access to the information. You want to improve their satisfaction of the government. You want to make sure that different government agency can target their service sector better. You want to have a faster delivery of services, and you want to enable the organization to service more users or different type of users. And you want to simplify the administrative process. This is important. Usually a lot of government projects are meant well, put a lot of effort, but people have a hard time actually getting to do it. if you take 20 steps to apply for some government services, most people get frustrated and say, okay, well, I just don't have time. I don't know how to do it. So one very important part of the innovation in the government is to make things easier for citizens to use the services. Okay, and of course internally you want the government innovation to improve government employee satisfaction, and overall cost of the service could be reduced. So these are the goals of public sector innovation. So public sector innovation, of course, create as much controversy as the private one. So take a look at, we have many places have the similar problem. In a park, you have limited benches. Some people go there and just sleep on it for a whole day. So other people cannot use the bench. So what do you do? What do you do? You can make it really uncomfortable. People couldn't sit very long, or you can just remove them. But so this, the Fabian Brownstein, this is a company in British. So they say, okay, you can have a bench. You pay a little bit of money. The bench will allow you to sit down. Okay, so this generates some money for the government, for people paying. They can enjoy the service. I want you to think about, is that right thing to do? You have to pay to sit on the bench. Is that the right thing for government to do? Is that a right innovation? Okay. So for this chapter, I want you to think about and discuss these two problems. First is that after you listen to the lecture and after you review the textbook, explain which type of public sector innovation are more important than others. There are different types, right? Which one is more important from your point of view? Which one create more public value? Okay, this is your judgment call. I don't think there's a right answer, but I do want you to think about it, because government, just like private sector, you have limited time, limited resource, limited money. You have to choose which innovation to pursue, which one create more public value. The second question is that I mentioned that you want to use the psychological approach to send mail or email to taxpayer to encourage them to pay tax on time, and of course a right amount of money based on the person's psychology. Is that a good idea? Is it ethical? Okay, if you know someone particularly afraid of something, you send that message using that person's psychological fear. Is that okay? That would be interesting, isn't it? Okay, so to conclude this chapter, we tell the difference between the private sector and the public sector innovation, and we know innovation from the public sector have a huge impact on the society. Not only change the way we live, but also we have to remember that the public sector sometimes take about 40% of the total GDP. So it's not a small part of our economy. It's a huge part. Probably look at it one entity, it is the largest part of the economy. So the public sector innovation is important. Okay, so public sector usually look at collaboration a lot more than private. Private sector want to keep the innovation to itself so it can generate a lot of money, but the public sector usually want to create collaboration, so as many people can use it and benefit from it as possible. So we checked about what is the expected outcome and of the innovation. Why does public sector want to do innovation? We at the end we think about, should we use AI? Is AI part of the innovation coming to us? And AI will push a lot more innovation. Personally, I think that AI and data science at this point is the major wave of information technology going to change our life. We are still in the beginning of that AI, where I would see a lot of innovation, both in the private and the public sector, using AI to produce new product and new service.